Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, The Property Shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning, everyone. Morning, Capital Land. Johnny G, what's up, my man?
Hey, cold out there, huh?
It is cold, brisk.
21 degrees right now.
And my kids are driving me nuts to put up the Christmas decorations today.
Well,
so
you know, once Thanksgiving is over, it all starts.
Oh, my gosh. My daughter is she is the Christmas queen, we call her in the house. Oh, it's great. She loves it.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Okay.
She's 10.
That's great.
And last night was the interior decoration, so that all got done. My wife is going back and forth to at home, getting the craziest stuff, I guess. Not so crazy, but like garland and I don't even know if they call it garland anymore.
Decking the halls.
They decked the halls. Yeah. They literally decked the halls yesterday. Yeah. So I got to do the outside stuff today, so it's going to be cold and brisk. But I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about Christmas decorations because we got a hot topic here. I got Joe Malone in the studio today. What's up, Joe?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Great to be here again.
Yeah, right, Joe Malone, no
you.
stranger to the show, no stranger to call-ins, right? This guy loves talking about real estate, and we appreciate that because, hey, that's what we do, guys. Like, our mission is to bring our listeners the most up-to-date information, tips, tricks, ideas, news stories. What we're going to talk about today is a big news story that's in the news today. So we're basically trying to give people as much information as they can when they go to buy or sell a home, that they're informed, that they know what's going on. It's our commitment. It's what I've been doing for 20 years. Joe's been doing it for 15.
Yep, almost 15.
You know, so we're not bragging. We're just really here to apply for the job of helping you buy or sell a home. That's what we do. So now this is a call-in show, guys. We want to talk about this being a call-in show because the topic we're going to talk about today is significant to the general public, and it's also significant to realtors and how our industry is going to react to this news that's out there. So please call in 476-5900. Johnny G's on the switchboard. He'll take your call. Yep. We'll get you on the show, and you can ask us some questions. So let's get into it. I don't want to get into it too much because we got to take a sponsor break in a few seconds here. But the topic we're going to be covering, these big lawsuits that people have been seeing in the news relative to how real estate agents are going to get paid, and this whole debate about a seller paying the buyer agent their commission to negotiate against them. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get into it.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guarantee radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hey, it's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at The Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. I love that one. johnnyhasthebuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the Capital Region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, everybody, we're back, and we are ready to tackle a pretty big topic right now. Pretty big news story that's been...
Yeah, what is this?
All right, yeah, Johnny. So this has been in a lot of news feeds. A lot of news outlets have picked up this story. There's a lawsuit that was settled last month in Missouri to the tune of $1.8 billion.
Billion,
right.
not million.
We're not talking
billion.
million. We're talking about billions.
A lot of money.
Basically, it was a class action suit that involved more than 250,000 home sellers, where the verdict here is going to have a significant impact on. I'm saying it is going to, not that it may, but it's going to have an impact on the way real estates are compensated in the future, and it's presumed to have an effect on how consumers will approach the process in buying and selling a house. So Joe, I mean, give me a little insight on this, like what from the research and stuff.
Well, this topic is multifaceted. It matters what side of the transaction you're on.
Right.
If you're a home buyer, you're out there looking to buy a house. Typically, you don't pay anything out of your pocket when you're purchasing the home.
Correct.
That the sale of the fees that are paid come out of the seller's side of the transaction. What this lawsuit is saying is that we're going to change that.
Right.
We don't feel that's fair.
Right.
Now, this whole lawsuit was brought on by a group of lawyers who looked at this and said, "Hey, we're gonna make some changes in the industry here. It's going to affect everybody, no matter which side of the fence you're on."
Yeah, these lawyers want to make some change in the industry and also put some money in their pocket. Let's not forget, right? Because this is a huge money grab from their perspective to try to. They're going to try to rearrange how things have gone on for the past hundreds of years, and it's worked pretty good up until this point. Now, let's break this down and set the table a little bit better, right? There's two sides of every deal, right, John? There's a buy side and a sell side.
Sure, right.
Okay?
Yep.
So as the realtor, we sit down with the seller and say, hey, listen, we're going to list your home, and we're going to need money for marketing, services, pretty much everything that we do through the transaction. I mean, we sit down with our seller, and we have, I think we have a 36-point checklist on what we do to get a house sold.
And you answer any and all questions.
We answer any and all questions, and we're there from start to finish, plus post-sale, right?
Yep.
So our commission's X, and we tell the sellers if there is a buyer agent involved, we're going to take a portion of that commission and pay the buyer's agent for bringing that buyer to the table and helping us sell the house.
Okay. Yep.
So this lawsuit is challenging that concept because the lawsuit is saying now that the realtors are forcing the seller to use their money to pay the buyer's agent, which is not the case. We don't force anyone to do anything, but the way that this is being teed up, it's becoming
adversarial.
Adversarial, yeah, that's a good word, and it's really going. It's already started to take we call it the co-broke or the cooperating compensation for the buyer's agent out the window.
And
okay.
we want to remember here that the buyer's agent's what the buyer's agent does is extremely important to the process.
Yes,
we don't want to make light of that, and they do deserve to be compensated because if you're a realtor, half the time, or you're on the other side of the fence, it may not be your listing, but you're bringing a qualified buyer, which is a really important term. Qualified. That means they have the ability to actually purchase that home.
Yes,
and they're looking for that type of home that we're showing them. Right. It's not, hey, I'm looking for a house, but what kind of house? Where is it you want to live? The country, the city? Where is it?
Right.
So that's really important.
And it's also important to remember that the buyer needs this representation. I should say 99% of buyers want and need buyer representation. Okay,
yes,
there's going to be just like on the sell side, you're going to have your for sale by owners, you're going to have people that are going to try to sell the house themselves, and those people are successful. The National Association of Realtors have stated that for sale by owners are successful about 40% of the time. And that's a pretty big gamble if you're selling the biggest asset of your life, or the biggest purchase in your life. You're going to be successful 40% of the time.
Yeah.
So, and most people opt out and they come back to us and say, "Hey, we try to do it ourselves. We can't do it. Fine, we list it. We get the house sold because that's what we do." Same on the buyer side.
Yeah.
Buyers are going to try to navigate the process themselves, and at this point, it behooves them to use a buyer agent because the cost is on the seller at this point, where Now, if people elect to use a buyer agent, they're going to have to negotiate that compensation with their buyer agent directly. Right, Joe?
Absolutely. It's good in a way because people undervalue what a buyer agent does.
Right.
And I think I'm on the buyer's agent side many times, and the work that we do as buyer's agents to make sure that our clients are actually looking at the correct properties, overseeing what they're looking at, whether the house is in good shape, okay shape, or terrible shape, helping them set up with inspections, mortgage lenders, attorneys, all those people we help them find, because many times as a first-time home buyer, they haven't got a clue on where to start.
Well, of course not.
And nor would they.
Yeah.
So, and I was talking to John about this the other day, is that, if you were in legal trouble, would you try to fix that legal problem on your own, or would you call someone who's an attorney who could help you through that?
Yeah, you would call an attorney.
Yeah, or an accountant if you had financial issues,
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, why wouldn't you use a professional person
Mm-hmm.
who's belongs to a trade organization like the National Association of Realtors or the New York State Bar Association or whatever association that is, that's a legitimate organization to help people manage a huge process.
Right. Absolutely right.
Well, there's a lot to that, right, Joe? Because the way that these big online aggregators, the Zillows of the world, the Realtor.coms, Movoto, Homes.com,
Redfin.
They're
another one.
These guys have skewed the process, the user experience for someone that goes online, they look up a house on Zillow, they call the phone number that's associated, which they think they're talking to the listing agent, is some guy in their zip code that bought leads for that zip code. And now, as soon as they hit the yes, I'd like to know more button, they're bombarded with text messages, emails, phone calls to have an agent meet them, basically try to meet them at the house that they want to see.
The keeper of the keys.
Instead of doing that, call a realtor.
Well, they are calling a realtor, Johnny.
But I mean, in your hometown, call a realtor, so a name you recognize, maybe.
Yes. Well, just to back up a little bit, when they call that number, they want to go see that house, right? They get there, and Joe Schmo shows up. Joe Schmo realtor.
Yeah.
He may be local. He may be a guy that works that neighborhood because they.
But you don't know.
But you don't know. The guy that shows up is basically. What they've determined to be a buyer agent is no more than a guy that just pops the lockbox, opens the door, and shows you inside.
Right, yeah.
Right?
And that agent may not know if you're actually qualified
they don't
to buy
even
them.
know. And how fair is that to the seller now?
Yeah,
that just let a stranger into their house with no qualifications.
Yeah, you don't do that.
And listen,
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, and we get those calls all the time. And the first question we ask you, are you guys, do you have a mortgage? Are you pre-qualified to see a house? If they tell us no, we are telling them, look, we can't show you that house until we figure out, if you're qualified or not, because it's not fair to the seller.
Right.
So our process starts a little bit differently. But the way, let's take that aside and just talk about standard practice right now when someone calls online for one of these on one of these websites. That is the user experience that's happening right now, and this is why we're in this predicament, because now this realtor that maybe have showed this guy a house and has no agreement for representation with this person. They meet at this house. They don't agree to do anything other than show them that house. Now this person's out looking at other houses, calling other people, and they think this guy's their agent.
Exactly.
Right?
It's an assumption, but they're not their agent.
Yeah. It's an assumption, and then that agent feels like they're entitled to something, right? They're like, I paid for that lead. That guy cost me money to have him. So
you spent time with that person.
You spent a little bit of time with them, but did you really figure out what he was
looking for,
or what his perspective was on this actual purchase? And now they get to Joe's house that's listed, and this guy shows up at the open house at Joe's, and Joe thinks this guy's not represented by anyone. Joe negotiates with him, gets the contract prepared, gets everything ready. And then the last minute guy's like, oh, well, we have an agent, right?
Yep.
And this agent comes in out of nowhere, and now the seller and Joe are expected to pay this person.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So this is a pretty broke process.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, like We got short time to explain this. I know we got to go on a break. So we're just kind of scratching the surface here, guys. But we'll be back. We're going to continue this conversation right here on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show with your hosts, Johnny B. and Joe Mulone and Johnny G.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the capital region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we're back, and I'm encouraging callers on this topic, guys. What's that? We do. Okay. We got a call coming in, actually, now that Joe Mulone is got.
Yeah, we got Josh on the phone. Hey, Josh, right. How you doing?
Hey, good. How's it going, guys?
You're on the air. You're on the air, Josh. Make sure you turn your radio down, and we're ready for you.
Josh, how's it going?
Sure. Going good. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for giving us a call. What's the question? What do you got on your mind?
Well, it's really more of a statement than a question. I was listening to what you guys were saying, and it makes perfect sense. Joe represented us when we bought our most recent house in 2020. And I have to say, the first time we bought our house, 14 years ago, our first house, it was really helpful for all the reasons you guys said to have a buyer's agent. We didn't know, local attorneys, home inspectors, all those things. The second time around, we were like, well, maybe not. But I have to say, it was really helpful for reasons unexpected. And I think my one takeaway is buying a house, even if you're a very rational person, can become an emotional process. And having somebody on your side to remind you, before you even started looking, what your priorities are, what the most important things were, what your budget is, that's really, really helpful, because even the most rational person can get, a little irrational and emotional when buying a house. And even for people who have bought multiple houses, having a buyer's agent, I think, is a really, really important thing.
Yeah, I think Josh hit the nail on the head right there to clarify it for everybody. Is it emotional? You better believe it.
You bet. And I tell you, it's a good point, Josh, because I didn't even think about that portion of it. It's keeping people's head in the game. I mean, that's a lot of the. Yeah. I mean, we do home inspections, legal advice and mortgage help, and we're also kind of a psychiatrist to some extent with our clients, because it is so emotional. It's a roller coaster of events that go on.
Hey, Josh, great that you called in. And I want to tell you, recently I had a client. We got through the whole process, took him through the whole process on a first-time home buyer, and the deal fell apart because the seller refused to sell. They just walked away, said, I can't sell this house. At the end, literally a week away from the closing. And unfortunately, these things happen in real estate.
Very rare, but it does happen.
It does happen. Yeah. And, with a buyer's agent, unless you have a qualified expert type of agent to kind of pick up the pieces now we're in the pick up the pieces mode. You really want to be working with somebody who's experienced in all aspects of the real estate transaction.
Hey, Josh, let me ask you a question from the outside looking in, and this is why we're really kind of encouraging callers and having people call in. Would you use a buyer's agent again if it was going to? I'm putting Joe on the spot right now. If it was going to cost you money out of pocket, or it was going to cost you a little bit more, let's say, on the mortgage, if you had bundled that commission into your loan, would you pay for those services?
Yeah, definitely. I would. There's certain things in life that you guys were referencing before. If you're in legal trouble, you go hire a qualified attorney. I'll tell you right now, I'm doing a bathroom renovation, and I'm paying a little bit more to use a firm that has a designer on staff because you know what? I'm not a professional designer. Yeah, even if I were buying another house, I would definitely be comfortable paying for a buyer's agent because there's so many things that could come up that you don't even know that are unexpected, and having somebody that's looking out for you and representing you it can be very valuable.
Yeah, and I think that's why people need to, at least from the realtor standpoint, stop hitting the panic button. There's a value for the services here. The question is, yes, Josh is willing to pay for it, or consumer's willing to pay for it. The real question moving forward is, what is that cost going to be? And again, it's going to be a negotiation, right? It's going to be a negotiation of what your value is as the realtor, and if the client sees that value, if they're going to be willing to pay for it, right? Right now, it's an entitlement process, in my opinion, as a buyer agent that most of the part-time, and again, we haven't even talked about the herd getting kind of weeded out here. I mean, real estate is a very low barrier to entry profession. It's a 72-hour course. You can take in literally 24 hours if you really wanted to cram the course, and then you have to take the state exam, which you can take as many times as you want until you pass it.
Yep.
Okay. So the part-timers, the trend now is what's the word?
There's a lot
side hustlers.
Right? There's a lot of them out there right now. Oh man,
these are the folks that are buying leads online,
Yeah.
hoping to strike it rich, do 3 or 4 deals a year, and those guys are gone. I'm telling you right now, this is going to weed out between 30 and 40% of realtors nationwide because of this concept of being a buyer's agent, right? So the guys left standing are going to be guys like me and Joe, guys that have been in the profession for a long time, that know how to get someone through a transaction and are able to offer a fair fee for those services. So I don't think for the stronger agents it's going to be an issue. I think it's for the weaker agent they're going to really have the problem. The other question is what's going to happen to the Zillows and the Realtor.coms
and the National Association of Realtors
and the National Association of Realtors, because they're on the hook in this lawsuit as well, which you're talking in the billions, not the millions. This the general public, this class action suit is acting like these firms are big pharma or big tobacco that have endless streams of money. We're not set up like that. This isn't that profitable of an industry where they can survive a $1 billion suit like this. Go, Joe.
Hey, Josh, I have a question for you because you deal a lot with these trade organizations. What do you think may happen to the National Association of Realtors?
I think that, I'm still there. Okay. I think as with all things, associations, they advocate on behalf of their members, and likely this is going to result in a countersuit. It'll probably, hopefully get some kind of negotiated compromise that, creates a situation that works for everybody. Kind of like what you guys were talking about. If the National Association could go, back to court and countersue and come up with some kind of reasonable compromise, it might end up somewhere in the middle. But it's scary stuff, right? The world's changing fast with technology. You see this in a lot of different associations at the state level and the national level. Hopefully, cooler heads prevail and some kind of compromise works out, because like we were saying, buyer's agents are important, and people, need to realize that. And sometimes these lawsuits go a little too far and have unintended consequences.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, Josh. I don't think they're going to force bankruptcy for any of these big firms, because if that's the case, there's not going to be any money to collect off the lawsuits. So there's going to have to be some sort of settlement or compromise. But on that note, I do want to give ourselves a quick pitch, because our VIP home, now this isn't, I have been doing buyer agency the correct way for almost 8 years now. So our clients aren't met at houses. We sit down with them. We go through the whole VIP benefit presentation to them. Do we figure out exactly what they want, how they qualify, all the service that we provide, and we're transparent with them up front. And we tell them, I say, look, sometimes the seller may pay us a commission, But there are going to be times, especially in this market with tight inventory, we've been showing a lot of off-market properties for sale by owners. We got to take a break here because John's giving me the signal. But I'm going to finish this after our sponsor break and let you guys know how our VIP homeowner service has and will solve this problem. After the break.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the capital region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Guys, we are back. And we've had Josh on the line. I want to thank Josh. We didn't want to leave you hanging there, Josh. Didn't think we forgot about you.
Thanks a lot, guys. It was a lot of fun.
No, it was great. I think this is like maybe part 1 of part 4 of this topic. So I mean, it's so deep. And Joe and I have been talking about this for 2 weeks now, planning this show and how we're going to try to condense everything into, basically 28 minutes or 24 minutes, whatever our time is. But we are at the end here, so we do got to let Josh go. Josh, thanks again for calling in.
Thanks, Josh.
We're going to wrap up the show, guys. We just kind of scratched the surface on this. There are other suits that have been filed in other states, so we haven't heard the last of this. I think this is just kind of like really the tip of the iceberg in terms of this topic and how it's going to transform the industry. With that being said, Joe, any literally last minute words?
If you got any questions about this topic or any real estate topic, feel free to give John and I a call.
Yep. So if you guys are either looking to trade up, trade down on a house, looking for the right investment, you're looking to get a cash offer on your home at your price and your time frame at your price, give us a call, 957-SOLD. That's 957-7653. Ask us about the VIP homeowner service because this is the problem solver. We've been using it for years. It takes care of this whole buyer agency, who's going to get paid and who's going to pay me and all that stuff.
And how much.
It's all laid out. We do this with our buyers all the time so they don't have to worry about any of this stuff. And don't forget, your real estate referrals help the community. We're on a mission to raise $50,000 for Make-A-Wish Northeast New York, Capital Region Veterans Legacy Project, and the Animal Protective Foundation. We donate a portion of all of our commissions to these great causes, so your referrals do help the communities. So outside of that, I want to thank Joe Mulone for coming on from the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the Property Shop team, helping us better understand this huge lawsuit. Johnny G and Josh for chiming in on the stuff. We needed you guys.
Thanks, everybody. It's a great show.
Huge. Next week, you're not going to want to miss. We got Matt Stonecipher from Ace Home Inspection, our resident home inspector, talking about home winterization tips. You're not going to want to miss it right here with me, Johnny B, on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk News Show on Magic 100.5. You guys have a great weekend.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.